Hi, Cancer. So. There's a lot of astrological stuff, but I don't want to go with that. I want to do what I did with the Gemini reading, which is go really intuitive. Let's see what comes up. First card, Aries, the Emperor. Okay, well, Aries means Chiron for the next few years, and Chiron is throwing you a bunch of broken people in June. Cool, right? Super cool. Yeah. Chiron is going to throw you a bunch of people that need you to heal them. It's a gross kind of healing. Two of Wands. So another fire card. It's the kind of healing that I am calling gross from my Virgo moon. You as a Cancer sun, Cancer rising, or Cancer moon may think differently. I sometimes feel that my Virgo moon cancels out my Cancer rising. But Two of Wands. You are venturing into new territories and new heights when it comes to just being a Cancer. Two of Pentacles, and it will bring you so much. You're leveling up. You're going to have money coming in. You have opportunity that you manifest by putting out certain thoughts, and then the phone call comes. Then the email pops up like, hey, can we use you for this, or could you take this project on? Your card, the Moon. I associate the Moon and the Chariot with Cancer, especially because this is your planet. And we've got a lot of lunar activity that has a lot to do with you getting to finally figure out I was going to say who you love, but you know who you love. You know who you care about. You get to finally figure out how they feel about you. Cancer love can be so overwhelming that you don't really have room to be loved in return. You don't even really need it. You would really like it. But I think part of the reason you often don't get it is because you give so much. And it's that law, right? That has to do with intention. Paradoxical intent, the law of paradoxical intent. Cancerians and Pisceans can suffer from it, even Scorpios actually, in their own hidden way, where we do out of a sense of service and love, but also perhaps we're doing a little bit for our own adulation, for our own, when the adulation comes, then there is a gratification within us. And whenever we do that, whenever we give more than is dignified for the other person or for ourselves, what we reap in return is people not caring about us. So in many ways, Cancers can be blind to the truth about how people really feel because your own feelings are so overwhelming. And even if that wasn't the case, you may not want to really know. I think that Cancers instinctively know that most people don't feel quite as much. So, the Moon and the Emperor. So here we are. This is what is going on in terms of trines, in terms of water energy. Of course it's coming up like this because Chiron is going to pull on everybody. And when that gunk starts to come out of them, so gross, then Cancer, you're up. Then it's like 20 days into June, it's like Aries starts to pull. Chiron and Aries starts to pull because, okay, Chiron by itself is going to take whatever sign it's in and color itself in that way. Okay, so now Chiron is in Aries. What are Aries like? You know what Aries are like. They're very aggressive. They're very, I want this thing. I'm going to go get this thing. I'm going to do this thing. Come here, do this. Very bossy, very push your boundaries, break boundaries, jump over boundaries, get to the top, kind of, ambitious in every way. So imagine now healing done with that hue of go get 'em. let's do this. What? You've been holding on to this for 20 years? Get rid of it right now. You don't need this anymore. Let's go to Great Adventure. The weather's nice. And those people are going to get like ping-ponged or pinballed off of Chiron and Aries and get like all this gunk, like wrenched out of them. Like, ooh, is that a scab? Ooh, is that an infection? And then as they are stammering away, barely, alive, because Aries and Chiron, we're going to have to remind Aries all through this transit that the patient must survive the cure. In many ways, Cancer is the opposite. Cancer is like, I don't want the patient to not survive the cure, so I'm not going to cure them at all. I'll just keep enabling them. That is not shade. That's true. Law of paradoxical intent. We'll do a video about it. We'll talk about it in the Cancer manifestation video. Whew. Ace of Swords in reverse. The reason it's coming up in reverse is because Two of Swords. Because when people stammer away from Aries in Chiron and Aries, they're like, I won't survive. And they're getting picked up by a current that's taking them straight to you. When they get to you, they are broken. And they are not going to be friendly about it. That's the ironic part. You would think if Chiron is throwing you a bunch of people, those people would show up really, really grateful, no? And be like, oh my God, thank you so much for that. No, these people are showing up with the worst attitudes, the worst thought processes, the worst words. They're trying to hurt you. Now, Cancer is going to look at this and be like, yeah, no, I get stuck there too. But they're trying to hurt you. They are. And you're like, but didn't you just say they're coming to us for healing? Yeah, I did, and they are. But they're going to hurt the person that is healing them. Ooh, I want to tell you something. So, I have a very good friend who's a Cancer. And a lot of people don't understand our friendship. They, I think, find us to be opposites, which we're not. We're very much alike. And anyone who picks up on the superficial discrepancy between us and says things like, oh, I'm surprised that you two are friends, or wow, you guys seem so different, it's always an indication for me that that's someone that doesn't really understand me or know me very well. Because if they did, then they would immediately see how her and I are very much alike. So we tend to have these conversations that I can't have with others. King of Cups, I like that. Strength. Leo's coming up a lot. And the High Priestess, I love this, and I'll get to why this is where we're going. So, we have these conversations, I do, with Cancers, Cancer rising, Cancer moons, that I can't have with anyone else. And it's because the conversations are kind of icky. Let me explain what I mean. My placements make it hard for me to talk about like things that are kind of gross, but also it's necessary because that's exactly what the point is. So the way I'm acting, even though it seems like very self-involved, like, oh, she's just talking about herself. No. I'm exhibiting to you the behavior that people have towards you when they come to you for healing, and I'm going to explain why. So I was talking to my friend, and my friend's like, you know what? I don't get it. All these people, right? I meet them. They want to hang out with me. They're reaching out to me. They're calling me. I mean, she's a beautiful, talented woman. Like, it makes sense, right? And then they want to spend all this time with me, and then they tell me all these things. They tell me all these things. And then the weirdest thing happens. After a few weeks, they start acting weird. They don't want to talk to me anymore. They're talking to other people about me. And I just can't figure out why this pattern keeps happening. Is it me? What am I doing? You're my friend. Is there something, that I can't... She had her own idea of what it was, and she's pretty right on about it, and she usually always is. But I was able to provide an insight that you guys cannot have because you have to understand you're limited by your shell. No shade. but it's cardinal signs are super dynamic, and we need you guys, and you're super powerful, but you are limited by this cardinality. And sometimes you need to look at things from every possible angle before you can really understand why people are behaving, because people are so multifaceted and they're working off of this subconscious programming that they don't even really understand. Right? So when someone does something and a Cancer says, well, why did that person do that? You're deep enough to really be asking underneath what is really going on. And so I knew that's what she was really asking. And what she was, what her guess was on the whole thing, it wasn't bad. It's fairly accurate. That, people tell her their secrets. That was her take. People tell me their secrets and then they become uncomfortable that they told me their secrets and then they get weird. And yes, to a certain extent that is true with all empaths, and you guys being so naturally empathic. I mean, you are the planet associated with emotions. So you're very good at reading, especially right now, your cup is full at reading emotions. And so yeah, she's right. And if you were thinking that, you're right. If you've experienced that, you're right. But there is something deeper. What it is that people expose the gross to you guys. They expose the most disgusting. Then, every time they see you, they see their own grossness that they told you. And now you're walking around in a world where they know their grossness, but nobody else does except you. So when they come across you, they have to stand in their truth around you because you know already. And the irony is that even if they hadn't told you, you already energetically picked up on it. You were already there, which is probably why they told you in the first place. Because like, this bitch already can see, you know what I'm saying? Like, she already knows. Let me just tell her. She looks like she'll probably give me some insight. And the thing is, the people that she talks to, the people that tell her all these things, she does help them enormously. But they always have this, adverse reaction to her. And so this is what, and she was like, okay, but I don't understand. Like, what do you do? Not be a friend then? Is it my fault that people are opening up to that level? And I was like, yo, let me explain it to you. It's this simple. This is the difference. Remember I said that every sign is a reaction to the sign before it? So this is the difference between a Gemini and a Cancer and why people will show you their gross, even though we're the communicators. You would think that the communicators of the zodiac would be the ones that people would go to and communicate their neuroses or their, ickiness, right? Why not? Why not? Because people try. Any person who's watching right now that has Gemini placements, especially Gemini Sun, tell me, don't people try all the time? People try all the time to unload their gross on us. And you know what we do? We ask very limited questions and then we lose interest purposefully. We seem like we're losing interest because we're ditzy. We're not. We know exactly what we're doing. We just don't want to talk to you about this thing anymore because you're about to get real deep and gross with it. And I don't want that. I don't need that from you. I don't want to hear it. I don't want you associating that with me every time you see me. And quite honestly, I'm not interested. I can't do nothing with that information. As a Gemini, we're just bits of information passing through. What am I supposed to do with you? When you tell, a Cancer is going to take what you tell them and be like, aha. So this is how I explained it. I said, remember, friend, I don't want to shout her out, because I didn't talk to her first. It's be like, oh, is this okay? So I was like, friend, how sometimes you'll be like, oh, this and this happened. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, I could ask the next question. I could ask that, oh, was it like this because of this, because of that? Come on, of course I could. Because then I know, but why don't I? Because then I know that you're going to unload all this and this and this and this on me. And I don't want it. Not just because I don't want it, because you're probably thinking, okay, you're not a very good friend. Not just for me. It's not just for me. And this is where I want you to get. It's for her. When you engage with people and you don't let them go too far, it's not just for you to keep yourself clean and in a safe, space. It's for them. Because those people are not ready to deal with that thing. You're like a magnet for pulling that out of them, especially now Chiron is throwing them at you. They're like, that's why their words are so sharp, Ace of Swords in reverse, because they're unwilling. They don't they can't help but like, look, a Gemini could pull information out of you if we wanted to. If I had some ulterior motive where I really wanted to know the ickiness that is you, oh yeah, believe me, I could get it out of you. But that's totally different from someone almost being magnetized, coming right to you and just telling you all this stuff. You're just sitting there like, what did I do to have this person right now at this wedding with like 300 people? Why is this person telling me how they killed somebody and buried them in Santa Fe? Like, how do I need to know? And then the next time you see this person, they're gonna be like, oh my God, that person knows I'm a murderer. I hate her. Don't ever hang out with her. You see? Whereas if you started to tell something like that to a Gemini or to a Virgo or to a Capricorn, let's use the one across from you, they'd be like, as soon as in such and such 1982, I killed, the person would just get up and walk away. You did what, Holmes? No, you didn't. Not that I heard. I don't want no part of that. A Cancer will be like, are you okay? Are you okay? How are you dealing with that? So, because you are the, let's say, indiscriminate healers in that way, you can't even help that people come to you and tell you all this stuff. And so my criticism was valid, right? That like, we don't ask the question, so we don't receive that information. But her point was valid too, because she was like, I'm not asking for this. People telling me stuff I don't want to know. I'm not going out there and seeking information and being like, yo, did you murder somebody and and bury them in the Southwest somewhere? Let's talk about it. So this month, that gross, icky, oh my God, I'm going to unload all this stuff on you and I'm going to be rude to you. It's going to happen. But I want you to understand what's so amazing about it. Your planet, your card, you as the King of Cups, and then the moon, your planet at your feet. So all the healing and all the gunk that has to come out and all the all the sterilizing and all the killing of the bacteria, all the grossness that needs to happen, it will only fuel, it's water. It's the cosmic ocean being like, here, Cancer, do what you do best. And for a lot of you, because you are not trained from birth to do what you do best, you may find this time to be extremely trying. You may find yourself being of two minds quite often. Like, why is everybody crazy? Can I get out of here? Or, oh my God, I have to heal the planet and it is my responsibility. I gotta get to work. You're gonna go back and forth, back and forth. I wanna get out of here. I don't want nothing to do with these people anymore. I'm done. Or, hey, I've thought of new innovative ways to help these people and I am actively pursuing that. Right? I just really wanna live my own life and have a good time and make this money. Or, am I going to vacillate and wonder if I deserve this money after all? Do I have imposter syndrome? A lot of you Cancers may have imposter syndrome right now. I was just watching something on PBS NewsHour about how I think it's at USC, they've done a program where they have a special group that helps children who are the first people in their family to ever go to college. And one of the things that they were saying was that a lot of them suffer from imposter syndrome. They suffer from this feeling of, I'm not really supposed to be here. Any minute someone is going to come in and take this all away from me. I'm just pretending. I'm not good enough to actually be here. If these people found out what I really am, then I couldn't be here anymore. And it's about not being comfortable with an exalted position, not being comfortable with getting what you think of as like the pinnacle of what you would want. Of course, there are so many societal factors, political factors, cultural factors, there's immigration, there's so much that comes into play now, especially in our current environment. But imposter syndrome on its own, even if you take it out of that example, is a real thing, and it affects a lot of people. And when cancer begins to be more and more exalted, more and more money starts to come in, more and more success, you may feel, do I really deserve this? And if I'm already questioning if I deserve this, how am I going to feel when I get leveled up, bumped up again? Am I going to freak? No, I don't think you are. I don't think so at all, because you have too much to do. You're like that thing I posted on Instagram about the mom friend. Like, I think the meme was, I can't go ask for a straw for myself, but if my friend needs ketchup, I'm over there in like 2 seconds. Like, excuse me, can I have some ketchup? And I think you guys are like that. You guys are like the mom friend of the universe, you know? Like, it can be really hard for your gentle natures to be assertive about your own stuff, but you're very assertive about stuff you care about and about what you love. I just wish that you guys loved yourselves like that. I know that made me so sad to say it out loud, but it's so true. I've never understood it. Why are you guys so like, why is it so easy for you to love everybody, but so hard for you to love yourselves? Like, it's painful for me. I'll put it for you the way my cousin, who's a Scorpio, put it for me. I was talking to my cousin about my nose when I went through this really awful experience in San Francisco last year with a group of people that were like super awful. One of the things that they like used later to bully me online and say things was about my nose, which is crazy because I love my nose. I'm a Rajput and I have my dad's nose, so like hella cultural, you know, ethnic, all that. Like, I love my nose. But I was talking to my cousin about it, my cousins about it. And I was like joking, but half serious, but joking. And I was like, oh, maybe I should get something done. Maybe I should. You know, Deepika, watch out, bitch. You know, this kind of just, you know, just being funny. And she said to me, she said, you know, it hurts me. Like, it causes me actual pain when you say things like that. And I like knew in that moment. Look, I'm doing it right now. Gunk. You see? And in that moment, I knew she was right. She was like, yo, there's so many people in the world who would like die to look like, and it hurts me. She was like, it physically hurts me when you say things about yourself. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I feel like choking. I feel like slapping you. Like, so I won't hurt so much, you know? That's how I feel about you guys. Like, oh, it hurts me that you guys can be so there for the person that you love, for the person that you are loyal to, for the person that you feel is your person. Like, you will do anything. But it's so rare that when you get it for yourself, that you know how to not only hold on to it or keep it, but to feel worthy of it. That's what I mean about imposter syndrome. Like, I think that's part of what it was. That's why I was, you know, joking with my cousin about, like, I am a Cancer rising, right? I was joking with my cousin about getting my nose done because, of course, I think there's a part of me, the very Cancerian part of me that's super sensitive, that felt like, well, if I don't have that thing to be attacked on, then I'll be safer. You know what I mean? It was my way of compensating for the situation by hurting myself. And like literally the way that my cousin put it, she was like, you're gonna let somebody break your face? Like, Umber, what? Like, she was horrified. And I knew when she said it, I knew that she loved me more than I love me. And I was ashamed of myself. This person who's so much younger than me has it so much harder than me. So much smarter, so much more clear. And do you see how it is for us? You're thinking, what? But you do this and you help all these people. But do you see, this is the Cancerian thing. We can do it like nothing, on tap. But when it comes to ourselves, you see, when we're here, when we're the moon, we can do it. We'll just, we'll change. We'll change, we'll get over it. We'll change, we'll get over it. You fill us up with gunk, we change phases and we get over it. Next phase. Okay, new moon, go dark again. Okay, light up again. Okay, fine. Throw it away, gather it, throw it away. Gather it, throw it away. Give me your emotions. Give me your weird stuff. Give me your tears, your neuroses. Come on. What does the moon do? When the moon is out, what does it do? It makes people crazy, lunacy. It pulls the crazy out of people, right? So, Chiron is over there, like pulling all their hurt, look at what I just did, all of it. And then it's like, here, now you clean it up. Now you finish it off. And you're like, yo, you messy, bro. Like, you could at least give me this, like, half cleaned up. This is not the way to do it. You mad messy, because Aries is messy. Sorry, Aries. And if you're dealing with an Aries personality in your work situation, so what would that be? An Aries personality is someone who is, in many ways, the opposite of your sort of cardinal. They get on your nerves. Someone is really, really, really getting on your nerves right now. You are contemplating whether you want to get away from them and just leave the entire situation, or if you need to worry about the money. You know what you need to worry about? Yourself. Stop worrying about money. I know I keep telling you, and you're like, but money is a real concern. Yes, I understand that money is a real concern, but worrying about it is praying for not having it. But I don't want to pretend I have money that I don't. But that's the only way to get it. You got to feel like you have it. Stop worrying. Stop looping about it. No matter how dire your situation is, you're making it worse by looping about it. Trust me, because your mind is not free to think of ideas of how to get out of it. You see? I don't know why I'm yelling at you guys today. You see, everyone's going to be like this. Ugh. I catch myself doing everything that I'm saying people are going to do to you. Oh my God. This was not my intention. I'm sorry. I fully intended, if I was ever going to tell that story in life, which I wasn't going to tell it in a Scorpio video. Because she's a Scorpio. So, you get the messy, and you're like, do I walk away from this? Do I want this job? Do I want to be a Cancer? Or do I just go and do my own thing and have fun? Your own thing is healing people. Your fun is doing exactly what Chiron is throwing at you, but it's just not doing it in a very clean way, which is annoying. Just like at work, this person's being mad messy. Just like in your situation, your love situation, this person's being mad messy. There's also some lies going on. And you don't know now if they're lies or if they're just harshness that the person is throwing at you because they don't know what else to do with you. Regardless, I'll tell you what you need to do. Let this energy throw stuff at you and let it be received from here. Now, let's talk about the difference, because you can also receive that energy here. If we receive it here, remember, it's indiscriminate. Everybody, welcome, right? Lunacy. Fine, you can do that. And what you will get if you do that, if you allow lunacy, you will get the sharpness of the sharpness. You will really begin to question why you even care about people at all. It's going to get deep this month. Okay? Or you can acknowledge, like I said, I think she loves me more than I love me. Yo, that's just real, bro. Like, I hadn't ever thought of it like that until she said it. And as soon as she said it, I was like, damn, she's right. Like, I think it hurts me too. Of course, I think it hurts my subconscious. Of course it hurts me. Of course it does. She was just saying, Scorpios say what your subconscious wants to say to you. They say it out loud to your face. That's why they seem so venomous, because your subconscious is tired of you, generally. Your subconscious is generally so fed up with you that when it says stuff to you, it's really sharp. You guys can be the same way, but you take that subconscious energy and you go, okay, come on, show me where it hurts. Okay. And like I said, you can do that. But you know what people are going to do? They're going to be like, oh, you want to know where it hurts? You fucking bitch. This is where it fucking hurts. Look at how many times the moon is coming up, though. Moon, 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 moon. It is your month. See the moon over here? Or, this actually reminds me of, if there are any Rick and Morty fans out here, in Morty's mind melds, there's Summer comes in at the end where they've erased each other's memory. They have no idea that, like, they're done. They've, like, zapped each other. And she comes in and she's like, oh, Grandpa, is this a level 2? And he's like, who are you, Grandpa, what? And she's like, it's a level 3. And so she does all the stuff. She, like, gives them the right injections. She puts everything away. She cleans it up. She drags them and puts them in front of the TV. Their memories are now restored. They have no idea that they were basically, lost in oblivion because they had, like, screwed themselves over. So she literally saves their lives. And when she's done all the things, cleaned up all their mess, and Morty's Mind Meld is a lot about the subconscious. It's really smart. The episode is really, really smart. It's all the stuff that they don't want to remember, or Rick doesn't want Morty to remember, so he keeps erasing it, but he keeps it in little bottles so he can watch it again because he's a sadist. They say that Morty's a Cancer, by the way. That Rick is a Virgo and Morty's a Cancer. And I can see it. So at the end, Summer, who's the sister, puts them both on the sofa when she's all done doing everything, basically, like saving them, and puts the smelling salts to their noses. They wake up not realizing any of this because their memories are totally restored and the stuff that happened has been erased. And they're just upset that they missed whatever they were watching on TV. There's this thing called intergalactic cable that they watch. And they're just pissed that she let them fall asleep, which is totally irrational. But it's done just to illustrate the point of the person who helps the most is the one that gets shit on the most. So she cracks the smelling salts open and wakes them both up, and they literally wake up to a tirade of like, you fucking bitch, Summer, fuck you, Summer, I can't believe you let us fall asleep watching cable, fuck you, Summer, and so it's going to be like that. So if you want to pull the lunacy, okay, if you want to just be the, like, out here, hey, everybody, come on, tell me you're crazy, then they're going to do it sharp, and you're going to start to wonder why you do this in the first place. You're going to be like Morty in the other episode where he comes and gets in the ship and is like, ah! And just starts screaming. Want me to do that again? Ah! Poor Morty. So, you can do that, or you can be more discerning. You can step out of this, oh, I don't know, vacillating energy. Okay? You can step out of this duality of mind, although I give it to you, it's Gemini season, you are allowed to be dual of mind. But you will instead stand or step into your power. No need to pull all sorts of lunacy from everywhere. Sure, Chiron will throw you all the crazy. Sure, you are being asked to heal, but you heal like you breathe. Now let's be more discerning. Like I said about letting people go too far. When you hear people starting to go too far and get too gunky, you don't have to necessarily stop them, but you have to come at them from a place of power. Now, you may be thinking, but within healing and healing modalities and even conversing and healing people, even my energy as a Cancer, it's not about power for me. Yes, I understand that it's not about power for you, but it's about power this month. And you have so many big things coming up and so much going on that you need to become a bit concerned with power. That's what this card is about. You know that image was there before they attached the word strength to it. That woman has power over that lion. That's what Leos are about, right? That's what cats are about, power. No? So, well, everyone is. Everyone is. But when you are increasing in power and yet you are the healer that everybody comes to with their icky, that can be tricky, right? Because they're used to seeing you as this sort of ubiquitous, always around to heal, take everything in. Yes, call me whenever. Yes, ask me whatever. Yes, tell me whatever. Ocean. They're used to that. And it's not that this person is not an ocean. It's just that she's a bit removed from everything. And so she's sitting in the cosmic ocean now. She can't be a part of your feelings and emotional ocean that you're in, that you're trying to drag every Cancer into that you see. She can't be there for you like that. She's there for you on a much more refined, higher plane. So how do I do that? Good question. The way you do that, let's pull an outcome card while we talk, and then I'll show you the cards. The way you do that, first, stop vacillating. Pick a direction and go in it, please. Whatever it is that you're of two minds about, it's really distracting you. About the truth that has to come out, let it come out. Stop hiding, stop scuttling away from it. Just let it. Just let it be. If you have any troubling situations, Ace of Swords wise, where words have really hurt you and you're still trying to heal from them and you don't know exactly what direction you want to go in. Okay, 1 second. Yeah. Be careful, because that warning from last month still applies. Don't get into any fights. It's not a good time for you. You're not influential in that way right now. We don't need you guys getting hurt. All right, let me show you these cards and we can look at these outcome cards. They're basically the extended. 1 second, I'll be right back. No, that's not what I meant to do at all. Hey, all right. Here we are. So, venturing out, given the opportunity by what Aries is throwing at you. So even if that Aries energy seems to be opposing you, look more deeply, because they're doing you a favor. The ways in which you will stretch your boundaries now, will bring you a lot of success, bring you a lot of money. We need to start thinking like that already. Okay? With people being this sharp, especially with you, now that you know why they're doing it, perhaps it will relieve some of this Two of Swords tension. Just about purpose, about life, what am I doing, existential stuff. But make no mistake, the magnetism, what I was talking about with people just being compelled to bring their ick to you, it is in full force. Everyone will be feeling that way, and they will be seeking you out to do it. When confronted with that which is your best quality, and also the thing that makes your emotional state a liability to you because you get wrapped up in their stuff, that needs to become a source of power instead of a liability, instead of a vulnerability. You need to translate that people are this way, accept the reality that people do this with you, and that you are receptive to this sort of stuff. And then find your power in it. Use it as a source of strength. Take everything that people throw at you and understand that they're doing it because they're deeply in need of healing, and that's really where you shine. And so it will pull you out of your vacillating energy, and it will definitely give you a sense of purpose. And as soon as you understand that your power lies in that which on the outside may seem to be a horrible lot in life, once you realize that you have an enormous amount of power, because what you're naturally able to do, once you find a way to close the lion's mouth, and it will come to you, it will occur to you as soon as you stop opposing and fighting this energy and what it's bringing you, and stop feeling personally attacked by the things people are saying. This is meant to bring you perspective. See it from up here a little bit, so you understand that when people come at you like this, it's not because of anything that has anything to do with you. So you don't get your own emotions involved. And if you don't, then you will see it from a height, from a greater perspective, and that greater perspective will bring you a lot of power. When you understand that this is actually about power, then you will step into the High Priestess energy by the end of June. So towards the end of June, you really start to roar with everything that people are throwing at you, because what they may not realize is that every one of those words, every one of those emotions, every one of those people who's rude to you or nice to you, or everything in between, everyone that you're coming across, you are healing, and in that healing, they are giving you power. You are not taking it from them. Understand that distinction. You are giving healing, and they are giving you power. So by the end of the month, after being thrown all of this, you see what I mean by Chiron's actually helping you? It really is. So, because everything is fractal, however this is playing out in your, most sort of intimate life, if there is an Aries energy throwing this at you in some way, understand it for what it is. Now, once you understand that it's about power and you readjust, okay, because you're very sensitive to emotions and because people do tell you everything, so you can capitalize on that. And if you learn how to, and this will be different for every person, so I can't really give you even like a guideline on how that, it's going to be so specific to who you are and who you know and what they're saying to you, right? But once you realize that your general overall power lies in the fact that people do this with you, instead of like bemoaning it, you take it as this amazing superpower, then you will start to feel like a superhero with a superpower. When you start generating that sort of receptivity, the success is, there is financial and emotional fulfillment here. And yet understand at what cost it comes, what it is that you have to be willing to lose to gain this. You see how it's all about duality this month? You stand to gain very much so the abundance and the love, the appreciation more, the connection, security, children. You stand to gain quite some. The potential is most definitely there in both ways. So in a more spiritual way in terms of your feelings and a material way. And yet it will only happen if you understand this combativeness and the sadness and the almost sort of, dire situation that people are coming to you in, or that you may just be in yourself. First, you must understand that for what it is and not go back and forth between, I feel great, I feel wonderful, everything's going to be fine, I can do this, I feel abundant, to, oh my God, who am I kidding? What is this? What is going on? I can't do this. I don't have enough money. Did I really quit my job? What the hell was I thinking? Remember, because then you're praying for this. And I need you to consistently in June be praying for this. And by praying, I mean focusing. Focus here. Praying makes focus easier. Churches and mosques and temples make focus easier because they're full of stuff that makes you focus more. It's an ambiance that's created that helps you focus and concentrate your personal energy more. But you don't need to do it like that. You can do it any way you want, but you need to be focused here. Whether you're doing it inside a building or not, you need to be focused here. As soon as you start focusing here, you're going to manifest this. Why? Because you're a manifestation machine. And especially this month where everyone's coming to you with the gross, now extended. This motherfucking earth sign. Okay, listen. This earth sign is trying to tell you all sorts of things. I really don't know. Okay, we'll look at it in the extended because I think that you're going to, I think if you're going to deal with this earth sign, you're going to have to step into your power before this can in any way be a possibility. because as long as you're worried about there being some other person in this scenario, this is getting muddy. But we'll look at it in the extended. Okay, I love you guys. This outfit that I'm wearing with the koi on it, they're actually pajamas. They are from, I forget the brand, but I'll put it below. But it's been styled by Trine Frau here in Abeltoft. She has a store here. I'll link that info as well. All the stuff I'll be wearing is styled by her for these videos. So we'll do, this is the water signs, and then earth, air, fire. All right, Cancer, I love you guys. We'll look at this stuff and clarify it in the extended, and we'll do bottom of the deck. I will see you in July. Oh, the extendeds will be either on my website. You just go there and you can hit extended readings, and it takes you straight to the page, and everything is instant. You can download it and watch it whenever, and watch it without Wi-Fi, or watch it later. Or you can just sign in before you buy anything, so you can just watch them over and over again, and it's instant. Or you can go to Shopify and buy it that way and wait for me to send you a link. All right, love you. See you in July.